Okay, all right. By the way, so don't be disturbed if what I'm saying right now doesn't match the picture on your screen. It's because I forgot to record the greeting for today's lesson, and the computer wouldn't let me record it right now. It tells me that I have to restart the computer, and I can't because I'm in the middle of a break during the parent teacher conference. So, okay, what we're gonna do today is just translate exponential functions. Okay, all right, let's go. Okay, all right. So now here it says let's experiment with the following exponential equation. So what we're gonna do is this. All right, I want to show you three exponential functions. All right, with a little, I don't know, caveat or a little exceptions. Right. So notice here we have our super simplified we have our super simplified, hopefully you can see this, super simplified exponential equation, right? And then we're gonna do two things to it. I really should have started with this actually. Yeah, I'm gonna start with that. All right, so let me hold on, let me write something down. We're gonna do this as one, and then we're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna do this one. Okay, and I want to see what the difference is between this and the other two. Okay, all right, so with that said, let's try it now. um what color have I not used yet? I'll use green. All right, okay, so with this, right, so let's graph it out. All right, by the way, I don't even think I need this graph paper. Okay, so because, oh man, today's lesson might be kind of short. All right, it's okay. So look here, I'm gonna clear the memory first. Okay, just to clear everything. 7, 1, 2. Okay, all right. Now, I'm going to graph this one first, all right? Y equals to 2 to the x power, right? Your super basic exponential function. So let's go to y equals 2 to the x power. See that? Right? Just like that. Now, let's graph it, right? That's the exponential function, right? Now, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to graph this one at the same time as this one, meaning I'm just going to, instead of erasing this first equation, I'm going to add a second one, all right? And we're going to look at it as the red one. And so let's see, 2 to the x power plus 3, right? So let's see what happens. 2 to the x power, right? And then right arrow to get out of this little arrow here. Get the big arrow back, all right? And then, what was it? Plus 3, right? Wow, this is going to be a real short lesson. All right, so I'm going to graph that. All right, look and see what happens. Ah, you see that? Right, the red line, the second line, right? What do you notice about this graph? All right, now I'm going to help you see this a little further. All right, because I'm going to zoom out a little bit. All right, I think I zoomed out a little too much, right? So let me just go back to standard. All right, notice that, right? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph another line. All right, so this is, you know what, I'm gonna take a picture of this after we're done. That's what we should do. Okay, right, the third one is minus 3. By the way, notice, right, how it's not, the plus 3 is not next to the x, it's next to this whole exponential expression. Okay, all right, so what I'm gonna do now is go back to this. Now I don't want to use actually, yeah, we could use it. All right, so let's do this. So let's do 2 to the x power, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 3 instead, all right? Not negative, subtract, okay? All right, let's see. Let's grab that. Have you noticed something? All right, now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take a picture of this to help you see this more clearly. All right, so here's a graph. All right, now I'm going to label each of these lines for you. All right, and I'm going to label it on the end here. So let's use my green marker. Now, this one, hold on. Yeah, this one. So this one is, this original one, the blue one, is f of x equals to 2 to the x power, right? This one here, the red one is the g of x, right? Notice how they're using different letters to denote that, okay? So 2 to the x power plus 3, right? That's this guy here. And then lastly, we have h of x. It's 2 to the x power minus 3. What do you notice about the graph? So this is the original, right? What do you notice? Yeah, this number here, tells you how many units to shift up, right? So we add a 3. Look, where's my pointer? 1, 1, 2, 3. We went up 3. Now look at this. Minus 3, right? So what do you notice? 1, 2, 3. It shifts 3 down. As a matter of fact, not only did it shift 3 down, we could very easily point out that the y-intercept, right? Because these points are very, very clear. We're looking at 3 different y-intercepts here, right? So that's how you would know. Okay, so what's my total lesson? The point of the day is when you add or subtract to the original equation, it translates, right? It translates the original line, the blue line, either up when you're adding or down when you're subtracting. Okay, that's the lesson today. Okay, now I wanna add a little bit more because one, we have the time, and you guys are a very smart bunch of people, so I think you guys can handle this. This is not on the regions, I don't think. All right, I have to double check, but based on my lesson planning, it isn't. All right, and there aren't that many regions questions on this. Okay, so that's why I don't think we're gonna spend way too much time on this. The only thing I gotta add about this today is that if you do this, so why don't we do this experiment together because we got the time. All right, so now watch this. Look what happens if you do this, right? You see how these numbers, I told you that these numbers, right, plus 3, all that stuff, right? What if I don't have that? So I'm going to keep the first one, right? Because the first one, the original. What if let me clear this. What if instead of doing that, I do 2 to the x power, and instead of going 1 right, like this, like we used to, we're going to stay here, and we're going to add 3. Look what happens. All right, take a look. Right? This is the second one, right? And what happens if we add a third one? Watch this. If I add 2 to the x power minus 3, like this. Okay? So let's graph that. Oh, let me take a picture of this. I'm just going to replace this. All right, what happened? Oh, this one was the original, so I'll use the same color. Let's see, this was, I'll just use y equals, okay? So this was 2 to the x, right? This one, I'll use red, was y equals, this was the second one, right? What was the equation again? Yep, plus 3. And then I'll use the black marker. And what was the third one? It's minus 3, right? Have you noticed, right? This is the original. I'll use a different color. This is the original, right? If I add 3, it goes left. If I subtract 3, it goes right. Okay? You don't need to know that, but at some point I think when we're doing quadratic equations, if I remember correctly, we will have to remember some of these details. But just I don't think for exponential functions we do. Okay? All right. So hold on. Let me press pause and double check everything. Hold on to see if I covered everything I have to. All right, that covers everything. So why don't we go back to class and do a couple of Regents questions, actually. All right, and I think that's it. I think tomorrow we're going to move on to the next topic and then try to wrap the unit up the day after. Okay, so, all right, hey, perfect timing. 10 seconds. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
OMG, that was so good.